팀 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, welcome back now to the IPL Team Arena Challenge Season 2. This is game number 2 between FXO and Vile. Vile's representative over here at the 1 o'clock position on Atlantis Spaceship is our blue Zerg player. That is ChAnCe. And his opponent over at the 8 o'clock, sporting the red trunks. That is our Terran player from FXO, the Tal Terran himself, GuMiho.
That's right. It is indeed GuMiho. He was one of my favorite Terrans to watch play for a long time. You know, he always kind of seemed to try to emulate, you know, SC like I mentioned earlier, but he always had his own kind of flair to it too. I thought his play was generally a little bit more solid, but one thing that him and SC did always have in common is that they did like to be very aggressive early on, and I mentioned last game that I hadn't seen him be that aggressive in the game for quite a while, so I wonder if that's going to keep going in this game too. We'll have to see how much pressure he wants to put on his opponent. You know,
he's mentioning lag right now as well, which is certainly a valid concern when you're playing cross-server or something like that. Again, if you guys are curious how this is run, games default to the NA server unless two teams agree that they want to play somewhere else. That's just more of a resolution in case of a dispute. Of course, we're not going to force two EU teams to play on the NA server if they would just rather play on the EU server together. But in this case, playing something that's more aggressive, that demands a lot of control, was kind of a surprising move in Game 1 as well, as we've seen a lot of games that have been played cross-server from Korean players where they rely on good macro and decision-making, you know?
Right. And it really depends on the day and the time of day as well. I mean, when I was over in Korea, there would be days where I could, a little bit of a Maka-ish racks, not quite in the natural, but close enough to not be proxy. But yeah, there were days where I could play on NA from Korea, and it would be nearly perfect. I wouldn't have any trouble at all microing. I'd notice a slight delay. There's always a little bit of a delay, but you know, it wasn't anything to really complain about. And then there were other days where I'd play a game, and then I would just log off for the rest of the day because it was so terrible. It was like a half-second delay. So it really depends on just kind of how the internet feels like being that day too. So I mean, it could be bad one game and good another game. You just never really know. But in general, it's fairly playable, I would say.
And if you guys are wondering, we give teams a specific time frame to complete matches as well. So I think these games were actually played yesterday. But
yeah, if there is really bad lag, they can always kind of reschedule.
Precisely, yes, they can go ahead and reschedule. We give them that flexibility. So let's go ahead and take a look now, as it looks like ChAnCe did decide to expand pretty quickly. He put up his pool after that, but is waiting on gas so we can get out a couple of queens and stuff like that in a bit. But there goes down bunker number 1. We'll see how ChAnCe reacts to this. It looks like he's pulling just one drone off the line. He hasn't pulled anything else yet.
Well, he doesn't know if it's 2 racks or 1 racks yet. It is, of course, 2. We know that.
Oh, boy.
So he's going to need to pull some more drones, or this is going to be a very fast game.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. Already putting down 1 spine crawler. He's just refusing to pull anything else off the line right now, making 2 queens at the moment. Here comes 1 more drone at the very least.
Such a big map for this, though. I got to say, I'm a little bit surprised GuMiho is going for it, but, man, he is really dedicating to this. He's got a lot of SCVs out. Oh, group hug, isn't that sweet?
You know, sometimes on larger maps like this, though, because your opponent's just not expecting it, sometimes it has a better effect because simply for the fact that they aren't expecting it.
He's going to go right after that spine crawler as well. There is another one going. A couple Zerglings are out on the map right now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it looks like ChAnCe might be okay. Is he going to lose anything, though? We'll have to see. What's the health of those queens? Yeah, that one's getting pretty low.
Oh, wow. And all these SCVs have actually stayed alive now.
Wow.
Looks like one may finally go down. No, it hasn't even fallen yet.
And
GuMiho hasn't lost a thing, and it looks like he's about to take down the spine crawler and another queen.
Wow, he does get the spine crawler. There is a second one, so ChAnCe can move that into position if he wants to, but there's going to be more Marines showing up, and yeah, GuMiho has not lost a single unit, I don't think, yet.
No.
And, oh, man, that spine crawler is not going to live. Oh, but the Zerglings do come out. They do get 1 Marine, and more coming from the other side.
Yeah.
Does he have enough? It looks like he does still have enough Marines here.
Ooh, Marines got to back away, though. They can't stand too close to that spine crawler.
Queen.
Yes, transfusion goes down to the last second, though, to repair up the spine crawler, which is just outside of the range. So,
oh, nice look at that. He's microing between the spine crawler hits. That is awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh, I love it.
The spine crawler is pretty hardy, though, and it looks like another one's coming up as well. Oh, he's got to back up just a little bit. There it goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anything, he's going to be able to be really annoying with this. I mean, obviously, he's not going to do any real permanent damage with this, but he has cost a lot of units to Vile.ChAnCe right now.
Yeah, take a look at the workers tab right now.
17 drones, ouch.
17 to 19, and GuMiho has down his next base on the way, so.
Yep, and he's just going to keep repairing that. He's just going to keep it occupied, I guess. Nope, there we go. I was wondering how long he was just going to let that sit there and be a mineral sink. And oh man, I hope ChAnCe doesn't try to go after those Marines, because he would actually lose most, if not all, of those Zerglings. He needs to be very careful with that. Let's take a look at GuMiho's base for a second, see where he's at.
Absolutely. Third command center actually on the way, along with a third barracks. So he's just going into triple command center before any sort of gas. So he wants to press home his economic advantage that he's already eked out and make sure he gets as far ahead as possible.
Yep. Fast macro hatch for ChAnCe as well. I don't really know what he's going to use that for specifically. I mean, he just kind of had some extra minerals he decided to dump into that, but he's not really going to have enough drones to use all the larva from it. So
right.
A little bit of a curious decision from ChAnCe, and that doesn't help.
Nice little move there, though, from GuMiho to surround the Overlord on both sides, which just had nowhere to run to. And it looks like Zerglings are making their way out. They have to watch out. Two Zerglings going down right away. ChAnCe would have lost everything there had he just decided to keep going with that. Yeah,
rough start for ChAnCe so far. GuMiho's getting 2 gas right now. He's going to go ahead and start teching up.
Yeah.
Whether that is going to just be into more Marines and medevacs, he does like to do that style from time to time.
Sure.
Otherwise, he does ascribe to the SC style Terran versus Zerg, what I like to call it, where you just go really, really Marine heavy and just have a couple tanks to kind of shore things up as you do a lot of harassment with medevacs and just continue to hammer your opponent. There was one game on Terminus in the GSL where SC did that against Lucira. I think a lot of people remember that game because the Marines just did not keep coming no matter how brilliantly Lucira defended it.
Yeah.
And, so that's kind of the style I'm talking about with this.
Yeah, I definitely understand. So we're going to see what GuMiho does, though, if he goes along those lines. I love how the Spinecrawler just slapped that one Marine out of there a second ago.
That's right.
It's going to be very difficult for GuMiho to try and push this, especially with the Queen sitting behind there and the opportunity for more reinforcements. Looks like 18 more Lings are popping out at the same time, though. I don't know if that's in response to what he saw from the Marines or if that's just because this is coinciding with the Baneling nest and he wants to try and crush his opponent.
Yep. And there will be Banelings out before Stim is done, but it would just be really difficult to engage them off of creep in this situation here, and GuMiho is going to continue to be aggressive with this. He is really turning into the good old aggressive GuMiho this series, apparently.
No kidding.
You know, he was, it surprises me. He was playing a lot more safe and solid for a while, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's just a bit of a surprise to see him go back to his old style, and he's just going to waltz right past that Spinecrawler.
Oh, but now these Banelings are on creep, and bye-bye Marines.
Yep. That's right, and that's going to allow ChAnCe to get a little bit more aggressive. No bunkers yet at all for GuMiho back home.
Wow.
I think it's a big map, because otherwise that might be a bit of a problem. It still might be. We'll have to see.
Okay, he can see everything flooding out, though, from the Xel'Naga Tower. He's even going to see the Banelings that are tagging behind as well, so we'll see how he starts to prepare for that. It looks like it's 3 bunkers at the same time. Those are going to take a while to finish. It looks like more Banelings are being morphed in, so those bunkers will finish by the time those Banelings get up and roll in.
Yeah, I mean, ChAnCe is just going to try to go all in with this. He's going to take a chance, try to beat GuMiho right here. He's got a lot of units coming with this. I think he's got a really good chance of doing it. We'll have to see. That is a ton of Zerglings coming in with those Banelings. And if he splits those Banelings nicely between the bunkers, and he does, such a great job by ChAnCe here breaking this.
It looks like he's going to roll right into the SCVs as well. Good economic damage being done. ChAnCe following this up with yet more Lings. Needs to run everything up there. Looks like he has enough Banelings. Maybe get up there, do some damage. He's going to need a couple more here in a second. Ooh, actually split those Banelings up. If they had all gone onto the left supply depot, that would actually have been down by now.
Yeah, he could actually kill that supply depot still. There's no SCVs that are repairing it, but he should pull back now. I mean, there's a command center there, and he's just kind of going after more Marines.
Yeah.
So I think he should be satisfied with the damage he's done here.
I agree with you, but he just keeps following this up with yet more and more and more Banelings.
He's really all in with this.
Yep. Oh, he's got to watch out. Those Hellions have a good position on the high ground. Get away, Banelings. There they go.
Yep. And those Hellions are going to be in a good spot to finish those Banelings off as well. Are they going to get up the ramp in time?
I don't know.
Have to wait and see. This is close. All
Here
right.
come the Banelings rolling up right behind now. Supply depot is going to fall. ChAnCe trying to break on through. He doesn't have enough to go through the secondary wall, however. The barracks in the middle there actually being repaired up so quickly.
Yep, he's just going to try to ram his way in and win this game at this point, and expanding behind it as well. So he is kind of trying to prepare to go into a later game, but he is investing so much in this. We'll have to see if it pays off or not. It's not enough Banelings to take down a command center, but I believe it would be enough to take down those barracks. We'll have to see. I didn't get a complete count, but
there's still a really nice wall of units behind this as well. What's over here on the right? Okay, just a Viking on the right. Didn't know what that was. If there was a drop running around the side or something like that.
A lot of Banelings.
That is a lot of banelings.
All right. Well, this is going to be entertaining no matter what. He's still making more banelings and more zerglings coming down the map here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Rolling it before everything finishes up.
That's plenty.
Oh, my God. He's just going to go right through now.
Wow. That's a lot of Hellions, though.
Yes, it is. And I don't know if the zerglings have enough to go ahead and just go right after those. However, he's got his opponent down to 54 supply, but his is now falling. He was up a little bit higher than this just a second ago. And don't forget, GuMiho is still on 3 CC, so he will be able to replenish his numbers pretty quickly. But
I think this should do it. Oh, wow. Not really controlling the banelings as good as he could have. He gets one into the mineral line, but doesn't kill a lot of Hellions with them either.
Oh!
That's not going to do it.
No, it looks like that one's going to go down right away. But now ChAnCe is on 4 base.
He's so far ahead, too. Wow, continuing to make zerglings. He's making a few drones now, but still largely zerglings. He's up to 52 drones to 23 SCVs. He is in an amazing spot. All he needs to do here is just play carefully, you know, not waste too much. And he should win this game.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Well, we'll see here, because if he continues to be just as outwardly aggressive as he is, that's not going to get him very far, though. Looks like he's making the right decision. Now, he's got a few banelings morphing in. That's probably going to be more for defensive purposes than anything else. But there's a Roach Warren along with a 4th base and a huge round of drones coming up after this.
Yeah, that's good. Glad he's doing some droning here. He's already, you know, as we mentioned, way ahead. So
yeah,
good to get more ahead once you're already ahead, of course, as the age-old saying says.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Artosis.
Not quite surrounding those Hellions like I think he would have liked to.
Yeah, that kind of actually just threw away a lot of units there.
Yeah, supply getting pretty even here. GuMiho's macro is so good. Look at that.
Really is.
All those barracks with reactors, the ones that were killed were just kind of a wall. He wasn't really even going to use those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that 1,000 HP wall looks a lot better than anything else that could be thrown up at the front.
Yep.
And GuMiho going into bio after this. He is throwing down his 2nd command center, so he's got his siege tank production going, yes, but just one at a time right now.
It's interesting that he got the Raven here. That kind of makes me wonder if he wants to just be aggressive with Marines in the near future and then just have that not have to scan for burrowed banelings because he's so low on command centers and SCVs. That's kind of why I'm guessing he got the Raven, but we'll have to see. Yeah, he is moving out with the Marines. Is the Raven with them as well?
Let's see. I don't see it. Is it back at home? Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's just sitting back at home. All right. So let's see here now. There was 11 Roaches already came out, another 11 on the way, +1 melee attacks along with +1 Carapace coming up. And finally, just the standard 17-minute layer transition.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yes. And a little bit of a small force coming in here. If he gets the Queen, that'll be nice for GuMiho.
Yeah, definitely.
And he will get the Queen.
Oh, it looks like we have a bunch of Hellions. It actually wasn't just a drop. There was just a bunch of Hellions that moved over on the right-hand side. So GuMiho actually doing quite a bit of damage. May take out this hatchery here in just a second. Yeah, ChAnCe actually running right on by with a bunch of Roaches.
He shouldn't kill the hatchery. ChAnCe should be able to get in here and save this if he reacts fast enough. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. I guess he is just going to lose a hatchery. All right.
Yes, he is. Bye-bye.
Well,
he's still at twice the supply of his opponent, but that's no good.
Well, it was a really nice little attack by GuMiho to hit 2 sides at once there, kind of throws opponent for a loop. And now he's just going to drop right in the main. In the meantime, it looks like ChAnCe about to get aggressive down at GuMiho's natural as well. But are the siege tanks going to be ready? It looks like they are.
We have 1 down on the low ground. I don't see any on the high ground quite right now. And it looks like GuMiho pulling a lot off the line right now just to go ahead and start repairing up and constructing structures. ChAnCe not going to push in, but he is going to go after this base on the left. Actually, he just sat it over the units, and ChAnCe just sat there for a long period of time. He knew what was coming. All right.
I wouldn't want to land that command center either if I saw those zerglings there.
And look at this. ChAnCe still up by about 75 supply. It doesn't really have that kind of army that'll just outright kill his opponent yet, though.
Yeah.
And so GuMiho sitting back and just being as defensive as possible. Tried to take a 3rd, which I think was the right move, but it's so far away from his natural that it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to reinforce that.
Yep, I think GuMiho is really showing off his macro in this case to be able to get back in this game like he has. He did save the command center too, so he has had 2 command centers right from the start to make SCVs, do things like that. So yeah, things have been going okay for him despite having to move that and kind of wait early on. What's the worker count at right now for each of them?
It is
40 to 40. Okay, so he is kind of catching up a little bit.
Well, yeah, but I mean the problem is of course he's not mining off of his main right now, whereas you know, ChAnCe is mining off of 2 bases right now. Should be 3, truthfully. I thought he had the chance to get back and reinforce and actually protect that. Queen.
ChAnCe is really far ahead. I mean, if he can, yeah, well, Queens, we know how they are. If ChAnCe can get out there and engage GuMiho's army mid-map, he's gonna crush it, obviously.
Yes.
And then he could counterattack and win the game. Now, GuMiho doesn't look like he's going to want to do that. He wants to just take that third base and just kind of turtle up here, and that is a large amount of units moving down the map, but will it be enough to break GuMiho? That's the question.
We'll find out. With him only sitting on 55 drones right now, that's a pretty powerful army. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff in that.
Yep.
You see a lot of Zerg players that sit on 85 drones, things like that, and his
goes.
army is about the same size as a Zerg who's doing that, but there's a lot of siege tanks up. He's just running directly into them right now. These Marines are all grouped up, though. It looks like a few of the Banelings died initially, but GuMiho actually keeping so many of those Marines alive. The first line of defense has actually been broken, though. The Roach is starting to force units back, but this siege tank on the high ground is just worth its weight in gold right now, and it looks like GuMiho's going to hold.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, the way he moved everything in there, he kind of just A-moved it. He did move some of the Lings around the side, but GuMiho did get a pretty good setup for that engagement. The Banelings took a long time to get in there and actually do some damage as well.
Yeah.
So the Marines got to shoot for quite a while. But the supply is still looking good for Chance. I mean, he's still got a chance, but GuMiho is really catching up here. It's scary, man. This guy is a terrifying Terran.
Yeah, Chance has a lot of banked minerals as well for just sitting on 121 supply. I guess the larvae just aren't there. I'm not sure at the moment, actually. Oh, he's got to watch out. Those siege tanks have just done so much. Now he's only attacking with a small token force.
Yeah.
Yes, a couple of siege tanks are going to go down, but GuMiho just pushing those units through a little choke point right there just destroys everything. Now he's only backed by 17 supply.
Well, the good thing about what Chance is doing here is he's reducing the amount of siege tanks that GuMiho has. We can even see GuMiho adding on a second factory because he kind of realizes that's happening and he needs to get that siege tank count up.
Sure.
Otherwise, he's just got no chance of ever being really aggressive besides these little drops here and there. So Chance is still in a really good spot. I mean, if he can hold these bases, if he can manage the drops, there's, you know, really no reason why he can't stay ahead of GuMiho.
I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you, but I've got to say GuMiho has been so resilient in this game so far. Just being able to hang on after being so far down in supply. There was a time when it was 142 to 71. You know, Chance was up twice the supply of his opponent, but GuMiho has just been clawing his way back slowly but surely. Yeah. And honestly, we take a look at things right now, it's actually pretty even.
And you know what? Making two tanks at once, as GuMiho is, makes it really, really dangerous. Oh, a good chunk of Marines taken out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just really needs to watch out for those drops. Oh, nice little Raven harassment. I love those auto turrets. Are so hard to kill.
Yeah, they are.
They take forever, man. Those things have a ton of hit points. They last a million years.
They do. That's ridiculous. What, 3 in-game minutes, I think? So it's
yeah, and then you can get durable
long.
materials in there, even better. But why would you get durable materials when you could get Seeker Missile? That's the question.
Does
everyone
auto
should just rush
tracking
for Seeker
affect
Missile.
auto turrets as well? Do you know?
Does
high-sec auto tracking affect turrets?
Auto turrets. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, random question for the day. So maybe people on Twitter will let me know. It looks like the medevac eventually is going to pick up now. We have a 5th base coming down for Chance at the moment. He is still ahead by 20 supply, and you're exactly right. We finally see a Spire on its way.
Yep. Tried to go for that kind of Roach Ling aggression there. Might have been better to kind of sit back and get that Spire, get the harassment going. He's still got quite a few Roaches, too. So, I don't know. We'll have to see if he can do some more damage once the Mutalisks come out. I mean, that'll really, really help him control those drops a bit more. And you can see, though, GuMiho's still kind of stuck in his base, but look at that. He is basically caught up in supply right now.
Yes, he has. That's extremely impressive. Nice thing he's doing with these drops, even if he isn't affecting a lot of damage quite yet, though. It looks like, I'm not sure what he's trying to pick off here. Spinecrawler is going to stay up, it looks like. Yeah, I guess so. But he has denied gas mining at almost every base, as a matter of fact. So,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, especially with that Spire tech on the way.
All right. Is Chance going to have enough here? GuMiho's got a lot of Marines. And not a lot of Banelings in there for Chance, but he is going to push everything back. Some of the Banelings do connect. Oh,
good
a lot of
Baneling
Banelings
hits.
connect. They got onto those medevacs and got lost in GuMiho's field of vision. And Chance,
yeah, getting pushed back a little bit. Wow. 38 killed Commander Tank sitting on the high ground, though. Just racking those up. The laziest Commander Tank I've ever seen is he hasn't moved this entire game.
Yep.
But
those units might want to keep going there. Oh,
a little bit of damage done, but I've got to say, GuMiho holds once again and is starting to equalize in a big way.
Yeah, he's playing a great Turtling Terran style. He's kind of saying, all right, I can just sit back here and take bases. I want you to be the one to make the mistake. And did he kill the Spire? He actually just killed the Spire.
Oh, wait.
No, he didn't kill the Spire. He
actually
didn't kill the Spire. I think that was, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I think it was an Evolution Chamber, actually. Okay. I'm almost positive it was an Evolution Chamber.
Killed the Evolution Chamber.
Yes, he did. Those rich Vespian guys are going to work now for ChAnCe. Let's see here. Sieging up this base is so smart from ChAnCe, and he's actually doing a lot of things at once. We have this going over here on the bottom right-hand corner, but ChAnCe is able to clear that up. Looks like more auto turrets going in and taking out the Spire.
He actually killed
the Spire.
There we go.
Yeah,
all right.
well done.
Now it is dead.
Yes.
I'm sure it is by now. Yep, there we go.
Two auto turret harassment. That is the sweetest way I've ever seen a Spire go down.
Ravens are awesome, man.
Yeah, they are. Look at this. 7 medevacs powering 1 Marine. And
hey, why not?
They really want to make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah, unfortunately, the wheels are just kind of coming off for ChAnCe right now. I mean, he was in such a great position, but he did what a lot of players end up doing. They get a little bit overly aggressive. They think, yeah, I'm going to win. Instead of sitting back and playing standard, he tried to do some sort of like Ling Roach thing.
Yeah.
A little bit weird, didn't quite work. I mean, imagine if he would have saved all that gas, made a bunch of Mutalisks, you know, and a bunch of Zerglings and Banelings, just played standard. I think GuMiho would have had a much harder time handling than that.
I agree with you. It's one of those things, though.
He wanted the win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's intoxicating, man.
He's playing a Code-S player who's in the round of 16 right now, and he saw victory within his grasp and just overcommitted.
This is twice now that GuMiho has dodged a bullet, too, with these games. I mean, he's going to have to pay the piper at some time. And, I mean, ChAnCe could still win this game, but it's going to be really difficult, too, at this point.
I definitely agree. It looks like this base is going to get denied again down here at the bottom right. But we have more drops going. This drop has just paid for itself 100 times over. So much damage done with these Marines. They've killed so many structures. It looks like ChAnCe is trying to regroup with as many units as he can, but at the same time, GuMiho just pushing through the front with a very scary 3-3 Bioforce with a bunch of tanks in tow.
Yep. Oh, no, and he's going to lose a lot of Lings here, too. About half that little group of Lings getting taken out.
Yeah.
And victory is definitely slipping away right now for ChAnCe. Hey, you know, it's good against things that are flying and can't attack other things that are flying. Mutalisks.
That is true, as a matter of fact. Whole army gets cleaned up there. There's a GG out of ChAnCe, and GuMiho, after being so far down in the game, finds a way to come back and win.
Oh, that was so frustrating to see.